Good evening, everyone. I'd like to do a report for what happened yesterday, Monday, the day after Easter, and what the dark side is calling, well, they called Easter weekend the official start of the Holocaust. And my name is Tori Smith, and I monitor a child trafficking operation which has 40 locations here in the United States. And both yesterday and today, it was all at Roswell. And it's just so calculated. I think that's what's disturbing. And then, you know, I've been monitoring this for quite a while, and then I finally figured out how to upload videos on YouTube so that I could try to reach a more audience, so that we could, you know, pray and ask for heaven and be grateful for this child trafficking operation to be brought to an end. And I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know it will happen. And NATO, I'm sorry, this is just really freaking me out, because they raped and murdered 66 children over the weekend on one day. Well, there's two groups of there was two groups of Jewish children. And the second one was 66, and they got 666 males to rape each child 3 times. Or I'm sorry, the males each raped a child 3 times. But today it's even worse. NATO went into, they abducted 66 children, all Jewish, from northern Yugoslavia. And they were taken by force from a school. It looks like a school or like a daycare center, or I'm a little upset, so if I need the details, I'll have to go get them later. But 45 NATO men basically went into a school. They killed 8 of the teachers, and it took 66 of the Jewish children. And these 45 males each raped these 66 children once, so they would have 66 rapes of 66 children. And then NATO flew these children directly to Roswell, which is where DARPA has moved its headquarters. Well, DARPA operates all 40 locations in the United States, and then they have locations worldwide as well. But their old headquarters was in Arlington, Virginia, which is an especially nasty MILAB, and then also they, for some reason, picked up and moved out west to Roswell. I believe it's a really massive complex out there. So yesterday, Monday the 28th, the day after Easter, at Roswell MILAB, 66 Jewish children were gang raped by 666 males, all military, and these men raped 6 times each. It was an 11-hour event, and all military were present: CIA, FBI, NSA, Secret Service, TSA, Department of Hitler Security, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, Marines, and also ICE. That's actually what I call it. It's Department of Homeland Security, but it was created by Adolf Hitler. And what I see going on is that the details of the first 3 aren't clear, but 3 times on this planet, the dark side has come and basically killed everybody. And one, I know for sure, was a colony called Hibernia, which was about 4 million years ago. And it was a wonderful human galactic society, and the dark side came in and killed everybody. And then there was also another mass extinction. There were actually 2 more. There were 3 of them, and then the 4th one was when they wanted to take over this planet, but it didn't work out. That was World War I and World War II. And I believe that Hitler was a dark overlord, a reptilian of some sort. I haven't got the actual species. But since World War II failed to kill everybody, they've all been working ever since to redo it. do it all over again. And, you know, Germany lost the war, but the Nazis won the war, and their prize was the United States of America. My personal opinion is they officially took over the government when George H.W. Bush and Zbigniew Brzezinski murdered JFK. And they had already infiltrated, you know, enough parts of the government where they could cover it all up. So these 66 Jewish children were raped a total of 3,996 times. And then all 66 Jewish children were murdered with a 17-inch Illuminati dagger by 66 army males. Now these children were aged 5 to 7 years old, and there were 46 boys and 20 girls. And, you know, this is just absolutely horrific. You know, I have said many times that in covering this child trafficking operation, I've found that the Nazi war, basically all the Nazi war soldiers, the Nazi war criminals, and the Nazi scientists came to America, but they're in different bodies now, and then also they went to Israel. And 76% of the government of Israel are former Nazi war criminals. And in this process, you know, like I've said many times, I was abducted and taken to 14 of these MILABs. One time while I was being raped, they murdered 54 children in the room. And then another time while I was being raped, they murdered 16 children in the room. So I obviously have very strong feelings about this. And one time, I don't even really know, you know, I guess I could just call him a being. He was a male. And one time I was being raped by a man who worked at one of the German concentration camps. He was a reptilian monster. And, you know, being psychic, when I have a connection, whether it's benevolent or malevolent, you know, I see a lot of what's going on with the person, especially when you're being raped, you know, which it's anal sodomy is what I'm referring to. When you have a penis of a man who's murdered inside of you, that's horrific enough. But this one guy who worked at the concentration camp, he murdered well over 100,000 people. And while he was raping me, I was seeing visions of him working in this concentration camp. And he was just taking bodies of Jewish people out and throwing them into a pile outside, which was beyond, you know, it's just surreal to witness this while you're being raped. And then the visions cut away from that, and I saw him chase after this human male, and he was shirtless, but he was wearing pants. I don't know if he was military or whatever. But the reptilian dude attacked the human man and it just like bit him in the neck and ripped the flesh off, and he killed the man, and then he ate him. And that's what I witnessed, and I knew that he did it. You know, I mean, this wasn't like an artificially created CIA mind control. This was real. This was, you know, the man who was raping me, well, whatever being, you know, I witnessed him murder a man and eat him while he was raping me. And so this, you know, and then there was a lot of other things that happened to me while being abducted that, you know, because my psychic gifts allow me to see through the programming, because what happens is they've tried to program me over and over again, but what happens is as soon as it's over, the process is cleared out. So even though I may see, or they want me to see things that are false, as soon as they leave and it's over, you know, heaven and God, they do healing for me all the time, and it's all cleared out. And, you know, so that's why a lot of times I don't do readings while, you know, I'm either in a lot of pain or being attacked or whatever. I always wait till I can see things more clearly. But, you know, for a long time I said that the vibrations of this planet were too high to be able to pull something like this off. But after, you know, this weekend, and the way they're killing all these children now, it's just really, really disturbing. And, you know, I would like to ask for your prayers more than ever, And let's see if we can bring this to an end before any more children are murdered. But actually, I've already done tomorrow's report, and it's equally as grisly. Thank you. God bless your hearts.